Yes? Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape. Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop and then moving on.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
Jacob Irv, the great...
Do you think it may have been Jacob Irv who drove over your roof?
It's a logical explanation. I felt within that thunderous crash a soul plunged into chaos. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds for that matter. How interesting. Wow. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that. I'm not sure. I wasn't even sure about our old recordings, which I no longer have. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for. Would you like to hear?
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest, breathing is becoming difficult. Not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside of your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers.
A low range of sounds is easier to handle.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Coldima Madakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Sure, let me have a look. Another time, perhaps.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits all the old boomboxes. You see rows of toy soldiers. cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand. You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle, and not great for the neighbors. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it. Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly gray and white. The Seminoese name, bang-bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right, Your Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs on your heraldry. The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner. Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see why. A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
I didn't, man. I told you.
He still is, hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Bah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he...
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you?
Imagine it, an explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation.
Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. No. I don't know. She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise,
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last line,
Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray.
this screen found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked.
This is the one our man pointed to.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat. The door is locked. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. You push the key into the lock and turn. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of the actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to...
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW, and looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key. Doesn't look like it.
The smell of 1,000 metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty. It's an issue of Petty Ferdy. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine.
The Uland frequency system?
The pull-out toolbox. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like, but one odd detail does catch your eye. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. We've identified one of the footprints, but there...
The movie stars are still smart. You close the rusty...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well,
Unimportant.
we didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause, an investigation I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over, after you.
The woman is still hot.
Huh?
Hello, hello. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape.
Over here. Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are?
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. I am not a gardener. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Buford that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everett sent to law school?
Like I already told you, I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on what...
Even though she has excellent control over herself, you caught her off guard. Push her some more.
You are not here to chat up the...
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations.
I represent the Union and these men here.
A very minor victory.
What you want is of no significance, officer.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
What are we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that, and then you said it anyway. You junior delinquent. But you still
The Union isn't going to do any.
Goddamn right.
If anything, it is aggressive. You may
So you were...
listen. You Moralington lackeys. You're a mob.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job.
strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Oh, this is about him.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go.
You might want to start asking your questions now.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect the... Starting from the right. Boot size, 44. Blonde man, in his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across, at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarceration and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly the missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well? Maybe. But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Now is a good...
The fuck is with you, fella? The pretty boy? You...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. Goddamn.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste...
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever...
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Doesn't remember them. He just forgets. Are you hearing this, Titus?
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog in your head. That's for sure.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
It wasn't a question, dickwad.
How fuck this asshole is worse than...
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. You don't have to keep answering his...
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way.
Known him? We don't...
Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3...
By the Pine's cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The
No. I mean the Pines cat. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interest in things.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. He's still...
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade. Right here.
This one has a special gripe with him.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of it.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNE's goddamn special forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. I'm not
Despite the stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
Titus, do not answer. You have been forthcoming enough.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment.
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead. It's done.
As you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but...
It's true. She was the only thing holding him back.
We hanged him up by...
Didn't they teach you?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of certainly enough to not put up with this backsass. Deliver. This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus.
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the tree.
Then we left him for...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening?
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
Like what, Copper?
Nothing.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for long.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.